Hey everybody, welcome back to Biblical Seekers. Today, we're going to expose the Antichrist by going over some of his counterfeits of Christ. It's time to see the truth. Okay, let's get started. You see, in the book of Revelation, we see this beast that comes up out of the sea. Now, you may be thinking, how does this counterfeit Christ? Well, you see, Christ was also referred to as an animal, like a beast, who comes up out of the water, like the sea. It's in the book of John, we see Jesus is referred to as the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sins of the world. And right after he is called the Lamb, we can see in the same account in the book of Matthew that he comes straight up out of the water, that is, after being baptized. And we can also see how this beast of Revelation 13 looked just like the beast before him in Revelation 12, because he had 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, Jesus also looked like the one before him, because Jesus quotes in John 14:9 that if you have seen him, you have seen the Father. And remember how the beast of Revelation 13 has horns? And Jesus, being called the Lamb in Revelation 5:6, also had horns. And we can also see how this beast has a name written on him. And in Revelation 19:16, we see how Jesus also has a name written on him, which says King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we also know that this beast of Revelation 13 looks like a lion, a leopard, and a bear. Well, did you know that in Hosea 13, Jesus is also referred to as a lion, a leopard, and a bear? And you can see that this beast was given power, seat, and great authority. And in 1 Peter 3:22 and Colossians 3:1, we can see that Jesus also has authority and power, and that Christ is sitting at the right hand of God in his seat. And the beast in Revelation 13:3 received a deadly wound that was healed. And a deadly wound that's healed is what we would call a resurrection. And Jesus also received a deadly wound when he was crucified and died a bloody, brutal death for you and I. But his deadly wound was healed by his resurrection. And in Revelation 13:3, it says all the world wondered after the beast. Well, did you know that in John 12:19, it speaks about Jesus when it says the world is gone after him? Or, in other words, all the world wondered after Jesus. And we know that in Revelation 13:5, that this beast had a mouth that spoke great things and blasphemies. And I think we could all agree that Jesus also had a mouth that spoke great things as well. And he was accused of speaking blasphemies. Rather strange, right? And something else that's interesting is the fact that Jesus was around for 42 months in his ministry. And the Antichrist power continued for 42 months, which is also 1260 days, or a time times and dividing of times, which is 3.5 years. That's the exact amount of time, and symbols of course, that Jesus was on earth doing his ministry. And that makes you wonder why all the world is wondering after the beast.